How to properly pass a volleyball.
Clunk. The sound the ball makes as it hits the wall. The ball that you shanked. You lost a point for your team with your foul pass. Your coach subbed you off and you feel as if you let your team down. How would you like to let that feeling go away and learn the proper way to pass volleyball? If the answer is yes, follow these upcoming steps.
To start off, find a volleyball and lots of space. The first thing you always need to have is the right footwork. Start off by placing your feet shoulder width apart. When on a volleyball court, you always need to be ready to move, so get up on the balls of your feet. When the ball comes to you, you have to lean into your pass. This means that you need to take a small step forward with whichever foot is most comfortable. Remember not to take too big of a step because otherwise you will be reaching. Now that your footwork is down pat, it's now time to move on to your knees. Knees are important when passing a ball because otherwise you would have a lot of arm swing. When on a volleyball court, you should have your knees bent at all times. When the ball comes to you, start with your knees bent and slowly extend them as the ball contacts. After the ball is contacted, you should not be standing up straight. Your knees should still be partially bent. Now understanding what to do with your knees, it's now time to move on to your arms. Start by shooting your arms out from your hips while forming a solid platform. After, you need to form a 45-degree angle. This means that between your arms and your feet, you need to form this angle. To understand this concept more, start with your arms in front of your body to form an angle of 90 degrees. After, lower them about halfway to form an angle of 45 degrees. The last thing you need to remember about your arms when passing a volleyball is to contact the ball on your forearm. Your forearm is the part of your arm that is between your elbow and your hand. P.S. Don't swing your arms to pass the ball, or else the ball will go flying. The next step in passing a volleyball is keeping your elbows locked. If your elbows aren't locked, your platform will be crooked. With a crooked platform, the ball will either not bounce as high as it should or it will get shanked. It may also hit your face. After you have perfected your arms and elbows, it's now time to move on to your grip. Start by taking one of your hands and form a fist. Next, cover the side of that hand with your other hand. Finally, lay your thumbs on top of them. Remember not to lock your fingers, otherwise you could break them. After securing your grip, I'm going to elaborate on what you have to remember to do with your thumbs. After you lay your thumbs on top of your hands, make sure that they are pointing down at the ground at all times. This will help your pass go where you want it to go. Also, make sure that your thumbs are not crossed. They should be parallel, straight, and together. Another thing to keep in mind is to make sure that your thumbs are even. You do not want one thumb ahead of the other. Even though thumbs are small, they can play a huge role when passing a volleyball. After completing these previous steps, it's now time to move on to the placement of the ball. When the ball comes to you, you want to make sure it lands in the center of your body. You do not want to have to swing your arms to the left, to the right, or even over your head. You will have a much more successful pass if the ball is centered. The last and final step when passing a volleyball is calling it.
Yeah.
When the ball is fairly far from you, but you know it's coming to you, call the ball so everyone knows it's yours to pass.
Yeah.
I call.
Yeah.
But others call.
Mine. Got it.
Or
My ball.
remember to call it nice and loud so others will back off.
Yeah. To conclude, I hope that now you know how to properly pass a volleyball. Just remember, feet, knees, arms, elbows, grip, thumbs, placement of the ball, and calling it. Once you remember these, all you need is a little practice. Everyone might focus on the big hit, but you know inside that you started that play. And as my coach always says, everything starts with a pass.